What's up, everybody? This is Sal the Investor. We're back at it again with another pick of choice here, Ford Motor Company. What we're going to be looking at today. First off, we're starting off with kind of a mixed bag here. A lot of red, some green going on in the crypto environment. As you know, my portfolio still stays strong on here. As not quite about to update it later today, but this is what last update at the beginning of the month at 6,300. And so what we're looking at here is just kind of a back and forth market. Like I said, last week was a relief rally. This week kind of probably going to be the same thing, just going back and forth, make some gains, lose them, make some gains, lose them. I'm still focused on XRP, dot, Atom Quant, Link, but I'm also taking a look at Sol. I might make an investment, but right now it's not looking like it's going to be right away. So, but after all that, I want to go through and take a look at this. Now, do want to say, keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, but I was a broker at one point. So, as a licensed broker, make sure you find yourself a licensed financial certified planner because you want to make sure that you get the right information and they can explain all the things going on in the investment world. With that being said, this is just my own personal view. Take it how it is. But this is something that I am going to be buying on this month as we go forward. So this is Ford. Been looking at this for a while, but what caught my eye on this company was that they were switching over to looking at maybe if I could find the article, but they were switching over to kind of a selling directly right here. Okay, here it is. So that's bad radio, but I didn't have this ready. But so we have Ford switching their business model over to selling direct to consumer for their EV products. Now they are saying that they're directly going to be copying Tesla in their model. As you know, Tesla is focused on service, not on sales, which is part of the reason I know I went to a Tesla dealership a few years ago and had a great experience. Even though I didn't buy a car, it was still a wonderful experience. That you try to find something that's right for you, as well as show you the value of a Tesla, not just selling you on the dollar. So, with that being said, if Ford is following that process and cutting out the dealership for that, that does mean that there can be a lot of savings that can be passed on to the consumer, as well as a better buying experience, which could lead to higher sales, which they already are showing that sales went up in June while the industry is declining, and part of that reason is one of the great reasons why that is going up is simply because of this guy right here, the Ford, the Mustang EV SUV. Now, I did actually finally get to see them on the road. I know that there's a huge back order on these things, but from a standpoint, I mean this vehicle has a great quality. People love it. Has a great style. Not too futuristic, not too over flashy, but simple enough, and can still hold that sporty appeal of the Mustang tag. Now, I do want to showcase that it is on the back order. There's kind of a limited supply, and I think it's even longer for the models in the popular colors. But right now, at I think a base price of $43,000, this vehicle is sold out, and that's a good price range, and they have a good margin on it. So those are like some three big reasons why you want to get into Ford. Right now, if we take a look at Ford, we go back to here. It's fallen far from its all-time high in 5 years of 25 during during the beginning of this year, we're kind of on a downward trend. But right now, as you can see, it's a little less than where it was at the beginning of 5 years ago. So I don't think it's going to fall too much. We already had that low dip during the pandemic right there. But we are dropping maybe a little bit more. We might hit a bottom out of like $8 on this share, on this company. But either way, I'd say this is a good place to start buying and dollar cost averaging in. Because the one thing that makes this even more tantalizing is that it does have a good dividend yield. So we're looking at, let me just pull up my calculator right here. So we are looking at, what's that, 265 divided by 4. So you're looking at 66 cents a share per dividend. So, and you can certainly snag some shares up at $10.80. So let's just say you want to get 50 times 10.80, so it's 540, which is right in line of the price of the spending targets of the portfolio test that we are running right now. So running that portfolio under a $50,000 income, this is absolutely affordable to get your first chunk of shares in, especially if it goes a little lower. Now the reason why I chose 50 is because if you do 50 times 0.6, 66, you're talking about $33 in there. So if you're following my portfolio, that's a good thing. You can go in and get another 10 shares of an even higher dividend company of ORC or NLP in our portfolio, or just use that to invest into other stocks, whichever you see fit. The reason why I'm going to be adding forward, and I'm probably going to add it into my main portfolio at a 5% ratio, is that there is still a lot of potential for growth, but there is still about another 10 to 15% downside. Now, the fact that they showed good earnings report for June makes me think that the earnings report for Q2 at the end of July is going to be great. So I would start snagging up some shares right now, so that way you capitalize on the next dividend in Q3. And hopefully they do adjust this into a higher yield. Now, right now, we got most analysts saying it's a hold at a buy at 38%. Some are saying selling. Has a fair market value of $25, but I would say let's go ahead and have that set at a price target of $30, which seems like to me that'd be a fair share for this value that you have here. They're having good growth. They're making smarter moves. They're not doing what their competition is doing, which is just staying with the traditional business model of the last 100 years. They are looking at what they're doing and changing it into a succession for future growth. And that's very hard to do for a company that's been around for over 100 years. Usually everyone gets set in their ways and they kind of get stuck in there. What I'm hoping for is that they really stay close to Tesla's model and focus just on the service and the customer experience, which will vastly grow the impact of the share. And who knows? I'm hoping that the extra revenue causes share buybacks, increased dividends, and hopefully that will allow for your shares to go up, the price of your shares to go up. But I think of a fair value of $30 $30 a share is very fair on this stock here. Now I know that $30 a share is higher than the 52-week high, and I don't think it's going to hit it within a year. You're probably looking at this as a 3 to 5 year hold as it slowly makes its progression up there. But it is a good base. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Their pickup truck the electric pickup truck has a good, I guess, consumer reaction to it. People are liking it. People have waited for it. People have done a good amount of pre-orders of it. And so we're looking at a significant growth here. So last thing I want to talk about is, so they're posting 31% sales growth in June. A lot of that led by the Mustang EV model that they have. Mm. So, with that being said, they should continue that growth with what they're saying, especially as they roll out more electric vehicles in their lineup. I mean, the Mustang and the Ford are the ones that are leading the way right now. They do have quite a few hybrids and EcoBoost models, but I think what's going to happen is each model is going to come with its own EV, and that could bolster up sales as people are trying to penny pinch on get rid of the high gas bills that they have, especially if you are in the Northeast or the North Midwest, as you're already getting hit with high oil prices on your heating bills, so you're trying to cut back where you can, which is this is part of the area. And with used cars still having a high trade-in value, that gives people more down payment power, so that they're able to afford a $40,000 to $50,000 vehicle with no problem. Excuse me. So that's it. That's all I got on Ford. I definitely recommend it as a buy. It's definitely going into my portfolio. It was in, but now it's going back in. Now they have a good CEO, good direction, good plan, and they're focused on customer service and experience, as well as the, a few other things that they're working on. But the only thing that worries me is their credit division. They are going to get hit with the 30 to 40% increase in defaults on auto loans. I do expect those repossessions to start hitting. However, I don't think it's going to be as much, as most of those repossessions were from people who already made poor financial planning in regards to what they spent their money on from their stimulus and tax returns during the pandemic. So I don't think they're going to get hit too hard, but they will get hit with that repossession wave as the auto industry collapses in on itself. However, being the first one to focus on the customer experience will help them avoid that, as it will garnish more attention to them and win over people who normally hate dealing with dealerships. With that said, you stay focused, stay learning, respect the process. Always always respect the process. And as always, like and subscribe. It really helps me out if you could do that for me, and would love to get more videos out to you. This was just kind of short and sweet. We'll check back in later today about the crypto market, but as of right now, I would recommend getting Ford in. I know I am. This is just my buy alert. I will be buying in at 5% of my portfolio Ford, using the excess cash I made from last week on taking some profits. So, and that's another thing I want to say is, if you make profits in crypto, definitely move them into someplace else. You don't have to keep them stuck in just crypto. I take them out, I put them into stocks, take profits out from stocks, and put them into crypto. But that said, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Hope you guys had a safe holiday, and like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Thanks a bunch.